This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. Good to have you here. If you found us, probably a reason you were searching for something. Maybe it was massage therapy, of which she offers in many different forms, including body work, or maybe it was energy or energy healing, or maybe the universe brought you here, which is a very strong possibility. And today we're going to talk about how to communicate with the universe, be it spirit guides, be it uh, larger presence, whatever it may be. We're going to start there with Kathryne McCracken, who joins us. She is a licensed massage therapist. She's a energy guru. I'm going to call her that too. And it's so great to have her back with us. How are you doing today?
No, it's terrific. It's been a great day. How about you?
Good, really good. Interesting energy today, and I can't put my finger on it. How would you describe it? What's going on?
It almost feels like a solar flare hit or something like that. It's just there's a higher vibration going on right now. And I'm not sure. And if it's kind of kinetic, and it can be a little overwhelming if you're not dialed in and not able to just go, okay. The most important thing that I found with working with energy is to ask, is this mine? Is it someone else's? Or is it a message? Because sometimes you just might feel grumpy one day and it's like somebody walked past you and whatever their grumpiness was kind of almost got into your energy field and just brought you down. So if I
Hmm.
ever feel something that just is a little bit off, I go, okay, is this a message that I need to attend to, or is this somebody else's stuff? If it is somebody else's stuff, then I just transmute it to light and send it back to the universe because energy just, it never disappears. It can just change form.
Yeah, great point. You can't make it go away. You can just
Right.
change its shape and form.
hmm Yeah,
Hmm.
one of the great things about Reiki, in Reiki 2, we receive the Reiki symbols, the master symbol, the power symbol, the mind body symbol, and the distance symbol. And one of the cool things that you can do with the distance symbol is if you have trauma from your past or something that has been haunting you, you can actually send Reiki to that event. It obviously doesn't change the event, but it changes your relationship to the event. So you can almost like leave that trauma behind and move forward.
How easy is it to do that? Can it be almost instantaneous?
It totally depends upon the person. It totally depends upon how tightly connected that they are to the situation.
Okay.
Because the more you're connected to it, the more like threads are intertwined through your body to this incident, and the more you have to just like sever the threads one at a time. So for some people, they're just like, whoop, done, gone. I hate this. I want it out of my life. And even though, again, it will always be a part of your life, it won't own you anymore. That
Hmm.
trauma is no longer the nagging force that it once was.
So if it's a bigger traumatic situation, safe to say it's going to take a little bit longer in terms of energy work to help you work through it.
Sure. Just like
Okay.
any physical energy or injury, it's going to take a little bit longer to heal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a trauma. You
hmm
know, taking a hammer and hitting your thumb is a trauma. You
Right,
know,
right.
it'll take a little time for that to heal. And these other ones, they're traumas as well. Things that we went through, um, even little things in childhood that
hmm
could be holding us back. So, communicating with the universe is it your belief that we are supported by spirit guides?
Yes. Yes, I have a whole troop of spirit guides that I've met over the years that have helped me out in different ways. Um, One thing that's important is when you meet your spirit guide, and when we do our Reiki attunements, we get a spirit guide who comes in who's specific to helping you with the Reiki. And I always tell my students that if your spirit guide will come to you within your paradigm. So they'll come in a way that you can recognize them. If you visualize your spirit guide as Archangel Michael with the flaming sword and the blue robes, that's what you're going to get. I had a student not too long ago, and she says, "Oh, who has the little black cat with the golden eyes?" And I said, "Well, that's your spirit guide." And she says, "No, no, I have a dog." Well, then she moved her pant leg, and she has this almost full leg tattoo of a black panther with golden eyes. And I'm like, "That is your spirit guide." And
Hmm.
I'm a little bit of, I don't know, um, I would not have responded to a spirit guide to come at me like an angel or something like that. So let's just say if Tim Burton were to make a movie out of the phone book, I'd be buying advance tickets. So when I met my spirit guide was, yes, in the black and white striped suit and says, "It's showtime." So yes, I visualize my spirit guide as Beetlejuice. Because hey, who has more fun than Beetlejuice? And laughter is such an important part of my life. So that's why I resonated with that.
So how do you know it really is? So here you are thinking, all right, listen, my spirit guide could be, um, oh, I don't know. It could be a sorcerer, whatever. Um, and maybe that shows up for you. But then how do you know that that's really it? Or a figment of your imagination?
Well, talk to it. Ask it.
Hmm. Okay. Fair enough.
Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Have the conversation. We were talking before about ask the universe the question and be specific. You said that you would ask your mother for guidance and signs. And so where do those signs come from? They come from who you ask. If you ask your mother, if I ask my spirit guides, that's who's going to be answering. Sometimes it is a collective consciousness. And it just is, yeah, whoever you ask and however you ask. So if you are super vague about something, don't expect to get an answer. But if you say, if the answer is yes, show me a butterfly. And that butterfly might float right past you, or it might show up in a book, or it might show up on TV, or something like that. It might be a sticker on the car next to you. But it's just keep your eyes open and keep listening.
Hmm. I feel that many of us struggle with communicating to things that we can't see. So
Sure.
call it praying,
Hmm.
call it talking to, spirit around us. Um, let's start with praying. I believe that maybe people have you know, a, a feeling that there's a bigger connection out there and don't even know how to pray.
Right. Well, I was raised in the Episcopal Church, again, an Oregon Episcopal school, and so we were taught formal prayer. We learned before we learned the Pledge of Allegiance, we learned the Lord's Prayer and the Prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And so I remember seeing a movie when I was very, very young. It was Oh God with George Burns and John Denver. And George Burns is God. And he says, I don't remember the question that John Denver asked him, but he said, well, everybody prays and they're always asking for something, but nobody says thank you. And that had a huge influence and immediately changed the way I started to pray. I said, no matter what, I'm going to just turn it around. And it changed my whole perspective of life. It's just to say thank you.
Well, fundamentally, it's gratitude. And so
Sure.
many say that gratitude can move your life forward. You might not
Yeah.
realize it. Uh, Others will say that when you practice gratitude, universe is listening and then
Uh-huh.
gives you more of that because you're saying you like it, you're thankful for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then, of course, in other traditions, like in Islam, they have an actual, like, coordinated prayer pattern that they follow when they pray. I attended a mosque in high school, and the women were so sweet. They were teaching us, they were like, okay, now you bow down, now you go like this. And it was a wonderful experience. And then one day I was sitting on the Citadel in Amman, Jordan, on the Temple of Hercules, and
Wow.
the call to prayer began. And I was not familiar with how to pray in the Muslim tradition, so I just sat there on the Temple of Hercules with this beautiful sound, and I just beamed Reiki. So that was my way of participating in the prayer.
Do you feel, and I'm finally, after quite some time, loving meditating. It
Hmm.
is my peace, my calm. Sometimes I seek it. Like during the day, I was like, I'm looking forward to going home and doing nothing, just
Yeah.
because I get into a zone. Or that many times now, I'll stare at something on the wall, a thumbtack, and in maybe 8 seconds or less,
Yeah.
I'm transported.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm focused. I'm thinking. I have clarity. Everything around me, I don't even see it. Um,
Mhm.
Actually, I find that more beneficial. My eyes are open. I'm staring at something, but I'm not here per se.
Yeah.
Would that be the right time, a good time to ask for signs, connect with the universe, your spirit guides, if not pray?
Absolutely. Because, like we've talked about before, you're constantly receiving information from all of your senses. So that's picking on your neurons and almost going, this way, this way, this way, this way. But if you're just zeroed in on that thumbtack, you're really not hearing anything. You're not tasting. You're just centered and grounded and solely focused.
Mm,
You asked before about how when you were asking for clarity, you got Reiki, and the Reiki after that, you sought the clarity of the issue. And so it was just because you were solely focused. You weren't multitasking anymore
yep.
and just zeroed in and able to clearly ask the question and clearly receive the answer.
Mm. What else can you tell us about making that connection? Call it spiritual.
It doesn't have to be, it's awesome that you could do it by zoning in onto one simple thing. That's an awesome way to do it. But I have to move when I meditate. I don't like
Hmm.
to sit still.
Wow.
And so my meditation is being out and just like walking on the grass or, going for a walk or even going to the gym and being on the rowing machine. That's my meditation. It just zeroes you out and it clears your head and sometimes just pure physical work. I go into a deep meditation, a deep spiritual, almost channeling because I've been doing Reiki, being a Reiki master teacher for over 15 years. So every time I'm doing a massage, there is nothing going on in the world right now except for me and my client and just
Mm.
peace and quiet and tranquility.
So the gym thing, I can totally relate to that. And a lot of times now when I go to the gym, if I'm doing some reps with weights or whatever, I close my eyes and I'm not even there in
Hmm.
just a second. And I'm powering. I could be even with a friend, worked out with a friend this morning. He doesn't realize it. He doesn't see anything. I got my eyes closed and I'm just doing my thing. And I find I can do better with more intensity
Yeah.
and you block everything out. And I remember probably 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I talked to somebody who trained with monks, and that's all they did, meditation. And I asked him, "How long does it take you to?" Before I have finished the sentence, he goes, "5 seconds."
Mm.
5 seconds, you're in, and I'm like, "Oh God, I don't even how. What does that even feel like?" Now I feel like I'm closer to it,
That's right.
um, just by whatever works for you, closing your eyes, staring at something, thumbtack, whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful place, isn't it?
That's why I love the rowing machine because it's just that rhythmic movement.
I
I mean,
agree.
I grew up on the ocean. I have to be by the water, and that's why I moved to the Sea Islands. And so just yeah, that connection for me, even just on a rowing machine, I can still imagine that I'm on the water.
I just had a connection just now.
Yeah.
I love the rowing machine. It's my favorite
Uh-huh.
machine out of all of them.
Yeah.
And I love the ocean.
Uh-huh.
And I go kayaking in the summer. I didn't even make that connection. Duh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
No, why? And I'm like, why do I like the rowing machine? All right, so I'm sitting. It's comfortable. But I had no idea why. Now I know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting. I get a lot of earth energy from you.
Um,
Have you ever done astrology? Have you
yeah.
start done?
I mean, I've talked to astrologers,
Uh-huh.
Um, I think I am an earth sign.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna confirm that. Hang on one sec. Uh, and that would make sense. I am.
Okay.
What else you get? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? And this is not a psychic
Well,
reading. I'm just saying, what are you picking up on?
yeah, I don't know. I just you mentioned a while back that you like to go kayaking and in the four element theory, the water feeds the earth. So it's where I personally my bliss is my feet in the salt water. It
Same.
just you draw the nutrients from there, like life from the salt water.
Um, well, the things you realize. So I think I shared with you, I traveled, went away over the summer for the first time by myself ever. Just went to a tropical island, dirt cheap, uh, amazing experience.
Yeah.
And then 4 months later, not even, I did it again.
Uh-huh.
Same place, rinse and repeat, same everything. I'm planning to go back again, and it's now it'll be another 4 months, and then plan another. It's very inexpensive, but I found my peace.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
is it? What is it? I am a 20-second walk from the ocean. Like literally, I can
Oh,
see it from where I stay. It's an Airbnb. I spend time on the ocean. I'll get a chair on a hill. I'll just sit there for hours. And when I first went over the summer, it took me like 2 or 3 days to like calm down, like to get into the mode. And then when I did, I'm like, what is going on here? This is like, and now I think I got it. Just what you said. And
yeah.
also being in nature, being grounded, never wore shoes, barefoot the entire time. Um,
Yes.
and it life changing. I'm gonna say it life
Yeah.
changing. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and think about it too, because water is an extraordinary conductor of electricity. That's why
especially
they're like,
salt
get out of
water.
the pool in a lightning storm. It's not water itself, it's the colloids. So it's the salt, it's the minerals. Hmm.
The other thing that I realized, and I last went in October, um, I manifested this place.
Yeah,
I really did. When I looked around, I'm like, well, okay, well, what's wrong? Nothing. Everything is what I envisioned it to be. All of this is here from the price. And I'm talking, there's a little tiny restaurant on premise. It's condo complex. It's great. I go down there, steak with a beer and vegetables and fruit, $9. Like you're a king.
no,
It's like the flight is $300. I'm in New York. It's cost more to fly to Florida. I'm not even kidding.
for
Um,
real.
and,
Yeah,
and so, but I believe that I manifested it. I'm not even kidding. It's like this is you
yeah,
needed this, so you dreamt it up and it showed up. But point here being things that you don't realize that can ground you, make you feel better. Um, and it's powerful. The grounding thing is, and it's different for everybody, I would assume. We just happen to love the
sure.
water. Um, what what's
Hmm.
your what's your what's your grounding? What's your therapy? What does it for you?
Well, and I was going to say, and then the other thing is you had faith and you took that leap of faith and went by yourself. I've almost always traveled by myself because I just don't like to be held back by somebody. I'd love to travel with a loved one, but it's so much easier to just, if I want to sit on the beach all day,
I agree.
that's what I'm going to do. I
I
don't want to
agree.
have a schedule. I just want to go for it. And I always meet the most fabulous people
Then there's
doing the
that.
same thing.
Yes, and
Yeah,
you're giving your attention to you 100%. And then, if you meet
sure.
somebody, you can talk to them and everything. And final thought on all of this, intuition, right?
Yeah.
Um, I was going to go this time, no, like after the holidays last year. My friend was there. That's how I found out about this place. And he's like, yeah, if you want to come down, hang out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And I booked the tickets, but I couldn't click the button. And
Ah,
it was in the cart. Couldn't click it. I'm like, all right, no, 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 no. I'm going to do tomorrow. No, 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 no. That went
no.
on for about a week or so. Now, 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
later, he reaches back to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, good thing you didn't come down here because where I'm staying, they lose power for 8 hours every day. The heat is insane. I can't work. I can't do anything." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I waited
Uh-huh.
about 6 months, and he wound up in a different place. And then I went down there. But truth be told, I saw him for maybe an hour. He, was
Yeah.
hanging with somebody. I'm solo. I'm like, "Dude, do your own thing. I'm fine. Don't even worry about me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be got everything I need right over here." But it was that's how I learned of this place. But the intuition, I'm so glad I didn't. I honored it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to
And
listen.
sometimes it just is the right time because I mean I manifested I'd wanted to study at the American University in Cairo since I was a kid. And I said, "Okay, universe, you tell me when." And then literally one afternoon I said, "Maybe this is the summer to do it." And so I went online. I had just hours to make the application deadline. I made it. I went. It was the most glorious summer of my life. I met lifelong friends that I
Wow.
know that I had that were soul contract friends from lifetimes.
Because it was supposed to be that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. You know, uh, I was thinking about going to this place again. I just shared with you, and everything was booked up. And just last night, they messaged me, "Hey, we had an opening. If you," I don't think that's a coincidence.
Nope.
No. Uh,
Mm-mm.
Beautiful talking with you. Love life. Your energy is like there's no description for it. It's like like off the scale, uh,
Oh,
in terms of positivity and I just even you having faith and doing these things, even at a young age, going to Cairo. My gosh, good for you. Like you have a lot of faith in you and
oh
everything.
yeah. And I mean, we would. My friend came in and said, "Hey, look, there's a bus to Jerusalem. You guys want to go?" I was like, "Yeah." So we went. It's just we lived on a rooftop in Jerusalem in the old city. You could look out and see the Garden of Gethsemane and the Mount of Olives, and we went down to Bethlehem and prayed in the Church of the Nativity. I mean, all of these extraordinary things that you just why live in fear? You're not getting out of life alive. So,
Yeah, you know what? In a another part of my life, I would have looked at that and said, "Well, I don't know about that. What, so be it." Or I don't want to. I'm not gonna travel like that. I hear what you're saying right now, and I'm like, "All right, how can I book that?"
yeah, yeah,
And, figuratively speaking, but it sounds like, oh, that sounds wonderful. What a
yeah.
fantastic experience that you'll have with you forever. And you'll
Uh-huh.
never say to yourself, "Oh, I should have went. I should have went."
Yeah,
Anybody wants to find you, I know that you do massage therapy around Hilton Head Island, right?
correct. Mm-hmm.
But all this other stuff, be it the Reiki, can do it virtually.
Sure.
Anything else that we're talking about, how do we connect with you?
My website is Innovaetas, Innovaetas.com. And my cell number is 843-304-7014.
Thank you for the positive energy.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Fantastic talking with you and happy holidays.
You too.
All right. We'll catch up soon. Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.